Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am filming this video really quick on a Sunday because I promised myself that I would post one video per week from this point out. So while I'm editing longer form videos around books, movies, writing, the things that I talk about on this channel, I wanted to do a review, a product review, my first one of the Freewrite Hemingwrite. This was my Christmas present to myself this past year. And it's funny because this company has quite literally been advertising to me since the beginning of COVID. I mean, I guess whatever, Meta, Instagram, they know I write, they know that this might be a product I'm interested in, and they've been gung-ho on that marketing since day one. And one of the biggest things that prevented me from making that purchase early on was just the fact that, one, these free writes are not cheap. That's the reason why I didn't purchase early on. But to be quite frank, spending any amount of money in this economy on something this big is a risk, you know? So I'm gonna take you today through my 3-month review, almost 4 months. I'm gonna take you through features, price, why I chose this specific model, and I will tell you what I think and whether or not the Freewrite Alpha is a good investment for you if you are a writer such as myself. Well, let's get right into it. So when you order the Freewrite Hemingwrite, you're going to get this really nice leather briefcase. So you have these like really nice full gold plated locks on the briefcase. And this is actually how it comes when you order it. The price tag on this bad boy is not cheap. Like I said, Hemingwrite, I want you. You know, this is a beautiful piece of writing machinery here. It comes like this, buttoned up when you order it. It's got a stainless steel body, which the website says like over time, it'll develop its own patina. So it'll develop, I guess, an interesting look to the body. They also include a little microfiber cloth to polish the stainless steel, if you choose to. But the inside of the briefcase is felt. There's a little pocket where you could like stick some papers or stuff in there. And so yeah, this is the case that comes with the Freewrite Hemingwrite. And this smart typewriter was created in conjunction with the Ernest Hemingway Estate. And it's funny because I purchased this having never read Hemingway. I still haven't read Hemingway. I recently got The Old Man and the Sea, so it's on my list. I know that was his last and final work before he took his own life. But this piece of writing machinery, like I have genuinely fallen in love with my Hemingwrite. I follow this creator on TikTok. I'll link her profile here. She does these really, really cool narrative videos where she's typing and then she basically narrates over the footage with something she has written. And it's just really cool. It's actually, those videos are what drew my attention to the fact that the Hemingwrite even exists. So I know by this point you're probably like, Alan, you know, what's the price? This bad boy is $1,000, $999. With taxes, it's like whatever, a little shy, like $1,080 or something, depending what state you live in. But yeah, it's a big investment. This is the most expensive smart typewriter they have on their website. I do appreciate the intentionality behind the fact that these keys aren't really annoying or obtrusive, because my thought is that if you're a writer and you are in a coffee shop or out in public and you are writing, you don't want to necessarily, you know, annoy or disturb everyone around you. So when you start a new document, I'm in folder A right now. When you start a new document in the Freewrite, you hit new and hold them together. Okay, see, it starts a new document. So like I was saying about the keyboard, I'm going to point the microphone here at the keys so you can hear that they're not really annoying or obtrusive. If you're writing this in your home, if you have someone who's sound sensitive, who, sleeps in later than you and you write in the mornings, it's not going to be a problem. This keyboard is not going to wake them up. As you heard, I think the spacebar has like a really distinct clunk sound to it. But for a typewriter like this, I think they did a really good job of choosing, key switches in this device that are not too clacky and too loud. You still get that, analog device typewriter feel on this without it being too bothersome for people who are, sound sensitive. So another cool feature is when you are working quickly, instead of deleting the words like letter by letter, you can hold the new key and backspace, and it deletes the entire word at once. Yeah, so on these keys, if you see beneath A, S, D, and W, there are these little arrows. Yeah, so when you hit new and the left arrow, it jumps to the front of each word. So this is how you can go through the document to delete a specific word. But again, like this is what Freewrite is not meant to do. The Freewrite is meant to be a drafting tool. It's not meant to edit while you're writing. And if you embrace the philosophy behind why something like the Freewrite was created, you will watch your word count explode. I quite literally started writing 7 Spared, my current work, like seriously writing it right around the new year. But I quite literally wrote almost 20,000 words in the month of January, thanks to this thing. Believe it or not, the first day I got it and tried it out, I was really nervous and I thought about returning it because there is a microsecond lag between when you type and when it appears on the screen. You have to kind of untrain your brain from the laptop experience where you see the letter appear instantaneously, because there is like a microsecond lag to this. And it bothered me at first, where I thought, I was like, there's no way that I can handle this. I'm going to have to return this device. I believe there is a return policy where it's like 14 days or 30 days, something like that. It's a small window, but it's a big investment. Again, I get it. I wanted to make sure that I liked it. But what's funny is that once I realized this is a drafting tool and not a laptop or something similar, I embraced the fact that the words don't appear on the screen at the exact same time you write them. So that's what I recommend for you. I recommend to embrace the fact that this is not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a speed writing thing. 100%, because the way that I write is sometimes I do sit on a sentence or a paragraph for a few minutes just because I'm playing with it in my head, I'm hearing the dialogue in my head or seeing what's going to happen in my head, and I want to make sure I find the right words for that and get it out in a way that I want. But when you truly get into the flow state that this device offers, it's beautiful. It's genuinely beautiful. The feeling of like when you get into a true flow state on this device, and quite literally, it has happened to me on this device far, far, far more than it ever happened to me on my MacBook. So for that reason, I fully endorse Freewrite. This is not sponsored. I'm obviously, you guys, I have literally like 19 subscribers, okay? They're no sponsor whatsoever. I'd be open to it in the future, but if you don't want to spend, $1,000 or $600 or whatever it is for one of the smart typewriters, such as the Hemingwrite, they do have the Travelers, which I actually want to invest into a Traveler because this thing is a beauty. I love it. I love the case. It also, I didn't show you guys this, but it has this really hefty, sturdy handle, which you can literally pick this up and walk it around, and it's totally fine. It's not dangerous whatsoever. They intended it that way. This is the USB-C charging port. You can use any USB-C to charge it. And one thing that I didn't mention is the battery life on this bad boy. The battery life on this Freewrite is effing incredible. It is so good. If you are using this heavily, and by heavily, I mean you're writing like 3 to 4 hours a day for, every day, your battery will still last somewhere between 5 to 7 days if you're using heavy every day. If you're writing a little bit every day, this thing will hold the charge for like a week to 2 weeks, depending how often or how little you use it. And I've heard that the Travelers, like the smaller devices and stuff like that, the battery's even better. I recommend Freewrite with my whole chest. I think it's an amazing tool for writers who want to seriously write and not have any distractions, I think so many people in our society right now are craving single-use devices. They're craving the analog, I joke around, but hell, I would love to have a landline one day, or just have the ability to have multiple single-use tools, things in my life where it's like, this is just a computer, this is just a music player, or this is just my typewriter where I draft my books and then I put them into Word on my Mac and then I clean it up a little bit, So as you saw, the screen, when it goes into sleep mode, it's Hemingway's, his author photo, right? If you ever have a bug on the Freewrite, all you have to do is just hold down the power button for about 10 seconds and it will do a hard power off and a hard reset like that, see? And then you let go and the screen goes black, has the Astor House logo on there, and you're good to go. In a few seconds you can turn it on again. A lot of times it will restart itself, but the bug will probably be gone. And if the bug persists, like something, sometimes you'll see weird things with the e-ink, or a letter or a period being stuck on the screen. You just turn it off for a second, turn it on, it's gone. Or charge it. Plug it into the power and then charge it, because sometimes when the battery is really, really low, the system, the software behind it won't function the same way when it has a full charge. Also, you see here that this booting screen, it does take quite a long time to boot, maybe like
3 hours later.
I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute, something like that. So what I recommend is when you are using a Freewrite, especially the Hemingwrite or one of the, smart typewriters similar to this, to just let it fall asleep, or press the button once and it will put the monitor to sleep. Keep it on, but in a sleep state. Don't do a full hard restart every single time. It just doesn't make sense. You don't have to do it because this boot up process does take a long time. So, that's my experience. I'm 3 months in. I've literally written and drafted close to 30,000 words in my new novel on this device, and I couldn't recommend it more. I will be purchasing a Traveler at some point, because if I want to go to the park, or if I want to write out somewhere with not this big steel device that I have here, right? I want to be able to have something more mobile. But caveat is I am going to be waiting because I have seen that the Freewrite Traveler, I'll put a picture of it here, it doesn't have a backlight. So yes, you can use it in the sun if you're at the park or if you are in a well-lit room. But let's say, you have, a great flow state and you're writing into the night. You have to either use some sort of illumination and light up the screen like a lamp or something to see it, or, you're kind of screwed. So people on the, the Astro House, the Freewrite subreddit, they're always like, please, please, please put out the Freewrite Traveler with a backlight, because that's all people want. And I'm personally going to wait for that. I'm going to wait for the Freewrite Traveler to have a backlight, because my typewriter has a backlight and I appreciate that. And wait till it has the backlight and then purchase it then. I think it's like $400 or $500, somewhere around that range. And yeah, I could not recommend this more. I mean, again, $1,000 is not cheap at all. I understand that that's a big purchase. I want to thank today's sponsor, Affirm. Just kidding, no. But I did purchase this. I had the money, but I just wanted to, break it up a little bit. And so I did purchase this finance through Affirm, like 6 months or something like that. So it's about paid off now. We're in April, right? Or we're about to be in April right now. But I think it's a great investment. If you're a serious writer and you are passionate about your craft and you already write regularly and you have a knack for being regular with your writing, this is only going to enhance your flow. There's no way that a device like this can detract from your flow. There's no distractions. Put your phone in a different room and just get to writing. Like, bust out those words, get your book out, get your Substack articles out, your blog, whatever it is. This device is going to not only help, but in reality, improve and enhance everything that you're doing, and probably multiply it, amplify it by like 2 or 3 fold compared to what you're used to. So that is my video for today, and I want to know what you guys think. Have you heard of Freewrite? Have you seen these ads? Were you as heavily advertised to as I was in the past 4 to 5 years? They finally got me, but I'm glad they did. Honestly, I'm glad they did. I'm also happy to answer any questions you have about my Freewrite Hemingwrite down below in the comments. I would love to answer them. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I am in my early 30s. I'm an indie horror author. I write books. I write scripts. If you want to learn more about writing or, movies, books, films, like those are the things that I talk about on this channel. And I'd love to have you, come join the party. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll answer any questions you have about the Freewrite below. And I will see you next week, because I am posting every single week from this point on. And if I don't, please hold me to it. So thank you so much. And yeah, tell me what you're reading. And if you made it this far, tell me what book you're currently reading. I would love to know. I'm currently reading Misery by Stephen King, and it's an absolute banger. I love it. It's a great, gritty, it's a page turner. It is an absolute page turner of a horror / thriller. So thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.